want to talk about why it's a bad idea to use any less than lethal toy like a CO2 gas BB gun, your air pistols, normal BB guns, paintball guns and markers for self-defense. Before I continue with this talk, I would just like to let everyone know that this is my views and my views only. I've read up a lot about this in the past, and a lot of people tend to agree with me, but there are a few that don't agree, and they are most likely the people selling these less than lethal, or actually non-lethal weapons to unsuspecting victims. So first of all, what is a non-lethal or less than lethal weapon? Your common ones are your CO2 BB guns that shoots the normal 4.5mm, and your paintball markers. You get the paintball markers in a pistol or in a rifle, but most commonly sold for self-defense is your pistols. The rifles get used more on a farm for self-defense, but I don't think that's a very good idea, and I'll get to that now. I'm not shooting down all less than lethal weapons in the bigger picture, because paintball markers has a place in riot control. It helps for riot control when you have a backup firearm. Same with your rubber or pepper shotgun shells. It is a good deterrent in riot control. Using something like that on a farm where there's 10 or 15 armed assailants coming at you and shooting at you, you are asking to get killed. And you will get killed for that, because now you're actually pissing people off that might not actually wanted to shoot you in the beginning. It was just getting you scared, and they bringing guns and showing that they mean business, but they just want to rob you and tie you up and leave you. In South Africa that doesn't happen very often, but we never know how criminals think. You get better criminals than others. Some criminals are actually murderers and they just want to kill everyone, where other criminals, they use guns and knives and other weapons, but they just want to rob you and steal your stuff. So there's also a legal issue with using one of these less than lethal weapons. First of all, if you draw any firearm looking device in South Africa, you will be charged with pointing of a firearm, and you can get jail time and possibly a fine for doing that. That will also prevent you from getting a firearm license for an actual firearm in future, because if you point a firearm and you're guilty for pointing a firearm, you will lose all hope to purchase a proper firearm in future. That will render you unfit to possess a firearm, and you won't get one for at least the next 10 years. In future you might be able to get one again. The other reason why I don't like the idea of these paintball guns and BB guns as using as self-defense is, if someone breaks into your house at night and you pull one of these out and you shoot the guy, the first thing he's going to do, if he has a firearm on him, is he's going to shoot back. And now who's got the more firepower? So you're just going to start a shootout, but you don't have the firepower to back it up. So it's basically more bark than bite. And the other thing is, people are selling these to unsuspecting civilians as self-defense weapons. There's no way in hell anything that shoots a pellet that doesn't even properly penetrate skin can be classified as a self-defense weapon. I would rather defend myself with a knife, and that's why I always carry a knife. So I've always got a knife on me, and I actually don't own one of these gas guns because they're worthless. My personal opinion is that they have no place in society, and we actually don't need them. If you want to shoot birds and stuff, you get an air rifle. And if you want to shoot something bigger, you get a rifle or a pistol or something proper. Those air guns are toys, but they're actually dangerous toys. And you don't want to give it to your child, because your child will start shooting other people's animals and birds and stuff and maim everything in the vicinity of your house. And it still gets classified as a firearm under the firearms law, even though you don't have to license it. Coming to the next point, if you shoot someone with said toy, I like to call it toys because in my eyes it is a flippin' toy, your chances are very good that you might get charged with assault with aggravating circumstances, or worst case scenario, attempted murder. And I'm sure that no one would like to get charged for any of those crimes, especially when you've actually played with a toy. So what I recommend for home defense is get yourself a 9mm pistol and load up some good self-defense ammunition. You know, there's the one of the critical defense. The other thing is, do not support the people that sell these toys. Do not do it, because they're making money of bullshitting other people and making them feel safe with a toy that's not going to help them in a gunfight. It might actually help you in a knife fight, but I would still get the proper thing, and then you have the responsibility to know when and how to use it. Whereas if you give someone a BB gun and he's never owned a firearm in his life or her life, and someone just irritates him in the street, he doesn't have any responsibility in owning a firearm, so he will just pull out his BB gun and start threatening a guy with a BB gun. First of all, that's brandishing a weapon and pointing a firearm, even though it's not a firearm. In South Africa, if you point a water gun and it doesn't even look like a firearm, you can and most likely will get charged with pointing a firearm, even though you don't own one, because you've intimidated someone with an object that looks to that person like a firearm. And intimidation with a firearm is illegal. You're not allowed to do it. So again, get yourself a 9mm pistol or whatever other pistol you want to get. You can get a 38 special if you want to go small and not really lethal, but it will do the job. You can go 25 ACP, or you can go bigger and get a 45 or a 40 Smith & Wesson. But get something with firepower to back up your bark. Don't bark and not be able to bite, because if you bark in a pack of dogs and you're not going to bite, you will get bitten quickly. Guys, thank you for watching. Cheers.